Hi guys. Okay, so it's time for a book review. This is my journal that I'm keeping things in. So I've got a couple of book reviews to do today, so I'm just going to sit here and film them. Anyway, so for this particular one that you're watching, as you can tell from the title, is For Runaway by Harlan Coben. Now this one I listened to, or I read via audiobook. Now I thought the narrator did a good job. So Runaway, you're following a couple different points of view. The main point of view is for Mr. Green. I don't remember his first name. I ultimately gave this a 3.75 stars. So you're following Mr. Green as he tries to find his daughter Paige. His daughter Paige is college age, and while she was in college, something has happened that has made it so she has become a drug addict. And when I say drug addict, enough that she has stolen from family or friends or something like that to be able to feed her habit. So she is definitely entrenched in illicit drugs. Now, he can't find her, and so he's really trying to find her. He doesn't know what's happened to her, where she is, or anything like that. So Paige is missing. So that's the main plot line that you're following. Now, there's this other character who's into the story that I don't even remember his name, but he is Paige's drug dealer. He is a significant character in this. You don't get anything from his point of view, but he's referred to a lot throughout the book. There's 3 points of view. So that was the first one, was from Mr. Green. The second one, you're following this private investigator who is searching for someone for a client who this person that she's searching for is missing. But somehow Paige, Mr. Green's daughter, is linked to this individual. They don't know if she's linked to the disappearance, if she's linked to if the guy is dead or if he's being held hostage or anything like that. They have no idea what's going on and why Paige is connected to this individual. This private investigator hooks up with Mr. Green as far as talking and kind of trying to figure out pieces to the puzzle. And then the third point of view happens to be from a hitman. Do I remember his name? No. He has a female assistant, and they work together. She just kind of goes with him to see him kill people, which is really odd. But okay. So we follow the hitman's point of view. Now, the gal that goes with this hitman is involved in a cult. So not only is this a mystery thriller where you're trying to figure out what Paige is going, but it also has a few cult elements that's more than less kind of hinted at and kind of talked about. You do get some perspective when the hitman enters the cult compound for kind of, I guess, some information or something like that. This gal is involved in the cult and she believes in it, and the hitman wants to find out why she believes it, and she just turns around, and I know this will be kind of triggering or unsettling for some people, but she turns around and kind of goes after the Bible about, well, the Bible has this, this, and this, so you're telling me you believe in the Bible despite these things? How is that any different than me believing in what the cult is teaching? And she tells him to quit calling it a cult. So it kind of goes back and forth at that a little bit. But ultimately, anyway, that's just a very minor little thread going through it. So it's interesting to see how the things connected. I do think it was well written from what I heard. Again, I'm giving it a 3.75, and partly because, one, I was a little uncomfortable with the attack on the Bible, which wasn't, and I know that people do that in real life, so it was done in a way that I think would be realistic. Now, so it was a little unsettling, but it was very brief. There was nothing sexually explicit as far as graphic scenes with blood. Nothing too bad. There's blood throughout the room and people die. That's pretty as much as graphic as it gets. I part of what's lowering it to 3.75 is that the only character that's really rememberable is Paige. And then obviously all I remember is her dad's last name, which is Green. I don't remember the mother's name, which that's kind of, you know, they're minor characters, so that's fine. But yeah, so I just wish I would have learned a little bit more about some of them. It was interesting. DNA testing is a major thread in it. That was interesting to read about, to try and see how the characters try and find certain connections. Major warning for, now this does get a little graphic in the description as far as sexual assault. You have sexual assault on a female character and sexual assault on a male character. So heads up on that. The male, there wasn't anything graphic. It was for the female character with the sexual assault. It was more just kind of mentioned, but there wasn't anything graphic. And things like that. So it just kind of talks about how, like, people that are around this character see this change, and there's hints towards it, and there's like this personality change, and so it's just kind of mild, but there's suspicions around it. The other thing, when it comes to the sexual assault of the male character, it does get graphic. And that was actually kind of rather disturbing. I was unsettled and kind of with that. So, yeah. But overall, I did like that. I think that things wound up nicely. It is a standalone, so I thought the conclusion was done. It still left a question, but it was definitely one that you're satisfied not knowing. One of the underlying themes in the story is the moral dilemma that people have as far as if certain secrets should be shared, if it's more harmful to share these certain secrets, so if they should keep the secrets, if someone wants to live a life with absolutely no secrets, but then something comes up and it's like, oh, wait a second, is this one that is going to be more detrimental to the people involved if it is shared, or should I just keep my mouth shut type of a thing? So there's a little kind of conversation about sharing secrets and keeping secrets and stuff like that. So that was very interesting, and kind of got me thinking about certain, like, if I was in a position where I had the secrets that are revealed in this, what my position would be on that. So that's pretty much all I'm going to say about that, because that there is a big kind of like reveal that when it comes to the secrets. But I thought it was well done. I did. One thing that I did wish was a little bit better would be the transition between the points of views, but where I was just listening to it, I can kind of understand how there's not as smooth of a transition between the different points of views. I think it would have been, you know, and even when I've actually read physical books with multiple point of views, it's not like a smooth transition. It's just, when you're reading it, it's at like the top of the book saying the other character, and so you know it's going to be that point of view. When you're listening to it via audiobook, it's a little bit more like, oh, all of a sudden we're in this one, and you don't have a heads up. But if you're physically reading, sometimes it'll have at the chapter heading what character we're switching to, if that makes sense. I hope that does. So I think I would have liked Runaway more if I would have read it physically, but it was still well done. So 3.75 stars. And that was Runaway by Harlan Coben. So if you've read this book, definitely let me know what you've thought about it. If you've read any other books by Harlan Coben, let me know which one I should look into next. So until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book. And I'll talk to you later.